Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Samurai xJawz, and in my last video, I had a lot of hate, obviously, and I had a lot of people telling me that I was crazy. A lot of people asserting that I was still on drugs that I'm not on, and a lot of people telling me I should go back to Call of Duty, which I don't enjoy anymore, by the way. This was the first year Activision paid YouTubers. They paid a couple YouTubers each $20,000 to do some videos for them, and I'm not gonna name them, but this was, I think, the first year Activision really realized they don't have that strong of a game, and that they got some competition. And I'm just here to say I have never once been paid by Activision. I'm not really that much of a fan of theirs. I'm a really big fan of the guys who created Call of Duty 4 and Call of Duty 2, who used to work at Infinity Ward and now work for Respawn. I was putting on a game with EA called Titanfall. I'm looking forward to trying out and seeing if it's good. But anyway, I'm not here to talk about gaming. I'm here to, this is going to sound weird, I'm here to challenge the status quo. I'm here to actually, I'll put it really simply, I'm here to convince you guys that I'm not actually crazy, but the world that we live in is. So if you're crazy, that actually kind of makes sense, because the world we live in is pretty crazy, and, well, if it causes you to be crazy as a result, that doesn't actually sound too crazy to me. That actually kind of sounds logical. Now, I actually am of the rare opinion that I used to be crazy, and that now I'm not. Now, not a lot of people have that opinion. Now, I think you kind of need that opinion to be sane. I think you kind of need to be able to look back and see the error in so many ways to really be considered someone I consider sane, because there's very few people from the get-go who got it all right. So with that all said, I really just care about my influence and impact on the world, and I'm not going to make every video some deep, dark subject, because I'm going to cover a couple dark subjects today, but I really wanted to put out a few more videos before I get into Titanfall and back into gaming, summing up me, because right now a lot of people think I'm crazy and don't want to hear anything but Call of Duty tips and tricks out of my mouth. Well, it's my YouTube channel. Fuck off. Alright, so I don't mean to be rude. I'm really not trying to be mean towards my fans and my supporters. There's just a lot of people out there telling me to shut up and go back to Call of Duty, and it's starting to piss me off, hopefully understandably, to the people who support me. Anyway, let's talk about lobbying for a second. So, lobbying is legal in the United States. It's not legal in most countries, but it's legal in the United States. And it is bribery of politicians that is public. It's public knowledge that the majority of politicians, a vast majority of politicians, Google the definition of the world, the phrase vast majority, the vast majority of politicians accept bribes from corporations, and then they pass laws and vote on things and make decisions that affect over 99% of the people around them, because that truly is the 1%, the people making the decisions, not the people with the money. They're not making the decisions. Bill Gates is lobbying the government to spend more money on foreign aid. He does not control really what the government does. The government really, the governments are the big forces in the world, and the U.S. government is one motherfucking power out of all of them. It is a hell of a power out of all the governments. Anyway, they accept and make rules based on these bribes, accept these bribes, and we haven't rioted over it. We haven't gone crazy over it. And I think there should be riots in the streets, and I think there should be mass hysteria over lobbying. Let's move on to some crazier subjects that hopefully will be indicative of some lobbying that you guys could piece together in your heads and start realizing, holy fuck, kind of makes sense that Sam went crazy. All right, so did you guys know that over 70% of U.S. drinking water has fluoride in it? I'm sure you did. It's actually pretty common knowledge. It's been advertised a bunch to kids as a positive thing. However, did you know that it's illegal in China and 98% of European Union countries to fluoride water, and that there have been a number of studies, including a Harvard study, saying that fluoride causes both bone cancer and brain damage, because it's a cumulative poison. That part is universally accepted by scientists in the United States and across the world. It's a cumulative poison exactly like radiation. So the more you consume, the worse it is for you over time. And we're consuming little bits and bits and bits every time we drink. Almost every time we drink U.S. water. Coca-Cola actually didn't let the U.S. government in the 80s fluoride their products. So you can drink their products. But speaking of Coca-Cola, there's a lot of conspiracy theorists who say they've killed union members acting up to try and raise minimum wages. So I don't really think they're that moral either. And also, speaking of morality in Coca-Cola, corn, the primary sugar provider, the primary thing that the sugar comes from, used in Coca-Cola products, corn and sugar together, I think, make up the most serious addiction in the United States. And Coca-Cola, McDonald's, Burger King, those guys are all drug dealers to me, because I think that sugar is a drug. And a lot of people agree with me. Do some research. And I think it's one of those things that we push back our sadness with. And on the topic of sadness, I'll link a TED Talk to this on an annotation on your screen and in the description about how there's a lot of people who actually believe that there's a chance that the majority of the world is depressed. And I actually give that claim some, I'll say, I give it the time of day. To consider. I don't want to say it's a truth that it is true that most of the world is depressed. I don't want to say that. I want to say it makes sense to me, because there's not a lot of therapists in third world countries, and also when you go to the doctor, you usually have a more serious ailment than, oh, I'm sad. And I think people should I think people really take for granted how awesome life is in the US and Canada and the UK and a lot of very modern countries. Anyway, moving forward, let's talk about the war on drugs. Extremely, extremely important topic. So the war on drugs, first of all, doesn't include alcohol and tobacco and sugar. When alcohol and tobacco alone, forget sugar, which is the primary cause of heart disease and a whole load of other problems that people face, obesity and all, that cause tons of deaths every year. Alcohol and tobacco alone cause more deaths than heroin, cocaine, and crack combined. And yet we wage war against those other drugs when we see in Portugal, which has the lowest recidivism rates of any country, the lowest addiction rates of any country, and the most relaxed laws on drugs, we see from Portugal that our system of dealing with addiction and addicts is completely backwards. Because what they do is they send therapists in to talk to people who are doing drugs at clinics. You can actually go do your drugs at a clinic, a free public clinic, and they'll try and help you rather than arrest you. It's a hell of a different way to deal with addiction, wouldn't you say? So those are just a few examples of how crazy things are, and I want you guys to really think about the world we live in and how fucked up things are. Oh, and by the way, 51% of greenhouse gases, that's more, the majority of the greenhouse gases are caused by livestock, and that's what Bill Gates is on right now. That's what he's talking about. He's a vegan, and he's promoting that we cut back our livestock reserves, our livestock production, the mass killing of animals, not because of any moral reasons related to PETA or animal cruelty or rights. No, this is because of the people that will be affected from the climate change. He's worried that just because we are so set on eating meat, we're going to end up causing ourselves to face climate change, not even because of all the oil that we're burning into the sky with 93,000 flights a day and millions and millions and millions, hundreds of millions of cars across the world every day burning oil, and it is because of this food fact and it's because of this oil fact that I think most people are crazy and that I'm not, because everyone's playing their role in helping hurt the environment of tomorrow. Not everyone's playing their role in trying to help it, and not enough people are talking about it, really. Everyone's just kind of, I mean, in our age group, playing games and going to school and having fun and being happy-go-lucky. And in the older ages, honestly, I just don't see nearly enough activism to try and change things. I'm not trying to be the leader of any movement. I'm not trying to be anything other than just me, and I'm trying to be honest. So anyway, guys, those are my crazy conspiracy thoughts for the day. Conspiracy is just planning. Conspiracy is just conspiring. Google it. And theories are just hypotheses, educated guesses. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a like rating. I'll catch you guys later. Bye. Life is so fucked up. I'll see you guys later. Take care. Be safe.
What am I supposed to do when half the people are going, that was great, and the other half are going, you're evil? Is it my job to go into their lives and try and please them? I actually had a woman say, why can't you do things that appeal to everyone? That's impossible. What a burden. No one's done that yet. That will be a challenge. I will please all people. And I also got, someone made a comment at the club going, we don't come to comedy to think. Well, gee, where do you go to think? I'll meet you there. We don't have to do this here.
Isn't there a sort of halfway between?
But my way is halfway between. I mean, this is a nightclub, and these are adults. And what do you expect? What you're going to see on TV? No, this isn't TV live. And also, it's my show.
Yes.
What am I supposed to do? Change my own outlook and my beliefs to be what to them? I try to talk to the audience the same way I talk to my friends, to take away the artifice of show business and actually have a feeling of a conversation going on. If some of the audience gets offended, then they're saying to me, I don't want to be your friend, and that's fine.